right. Do a quick mic check here. I think I'm good. All right. Fantastic. Well, we are on to day 2 of Fontathon, and yesterday we made a lot of progress on this typeface, to be quite honest. We have all of the letters completed. I was kind of struggling a little bit with numbers, and I have not given that any thought, to be honest, since we last looked at those, but I think we're in a good place today to maybe push this across the finish line, so we'll see where this goes today. As I get my remote up so I can be fancy and change screens, because we need that. But I think kind of the loose plan I have today is go through and maybe get some of the numbers done. We could take a look at maybe some basic punctuation, and rather than getting into things like language support, which eventually this typeface will need, I think what we're going to do is maybe try like a little bit of Photoshop or brand stuff. I think that could be kind of fun. We'll kind of see what chat says as we go here too. Feel free to jump in if you're watching. Don't be shy. Say hi. Yeah, I think we'll just kind of go ahead and pop the screen up here, and let's get started. Hello, Sophia. I love watching your typeface, by the way. The inline has been absolutely amazing. I give you a lot of kudos for that. Yeah, I'm kind of bummed, like, being on Pacific time, by the way, that, like, I think you've been streaming at, like, when it's 1 a.m. here, and I have not been staying up late, so I apologize, but it looks great from what you've been doing, so. Yeah, this is kind of where I'm at, and kind of what I was saying yesterday. We'll just pop up all the numbers on screen here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. There we go. And the 2 and the 5 just have not been jiving with me. Kind of what I'm thinking for the 2 is maybe give it a pass more in the style of the Z and see how that goes. We'll see, but I think that's probably going to be my first thing here. You're streaming until you're done mapping out the uppercase. That is awesome. I may jump over at some point here and check that out. So I can't wait to see how it evolves, though. But yeah, people just in general too. I think everybody's been doing an amazing job with Type Weekend and different projects this year. It's been a lot of fun to see that kind of evolve as the weekend's gone on. So let's just kind of see what this does here. This is gonna, oops, I gotta get used to having a coffee mug under my monitor, so apologies if I hit that, because it's probably gonna get picked up really well on the link. I'm kind of wondering if something like this maybe is the solution. And I'm thinking too, well, I'm willing to try a bad idea for the sake of entertainment here, but if we take that, copy paste it, I really should assign a keyboard shortcut to connect nodes for how much I use it. I don't know if kind of having the little tail on the 2 there does anything for me or not. Maybe it doesn't. It starts to look like a fancy Z. But that's kind of where I'm landing with this. I've also been kind of having second thoughts about these chamfered edges, that maybe it's just too strong. Like, I don't want a super harsh point there, but I'm kind of wondering if I just tone that down some. And then let the round edges kind of be more the prominent thing. Ooh, a raid. Thanks. Oh, that is so cool. Hello everybody joining. This is what we're working on. So you've gone from one chonky typeface to another chonky typeface. Right now we are working on a 2. Without the tail, it looks more like a 2. Yeah, I agree. And I think I like it better where it's kind of more the shape of the G. But what I do think is I'm going to make this more square. So that's a 15 by 15 square. And I like that because that's an easy number for me to remember. But I'm kind of thinking I'm going to also kind of bring this adjustment over here as well. So let's do something like that. And this is not Illustrator where it's going to copy and paste that to where my screen is. That's fine. So I think something like that might actually work out a little bit better. So it just looks a touch sharper. I think that looks a little bit more Z-like. All the chunk, yes. Yeah, thank you. The details too on this, which I should. Let's see here if I can find this real quick. Let's see if I can find. Oops. Preview. There we go. Open recent. I think this. Oops. There we go. So this is what we're basing this off of. It's a soap container, by the way. If anybody was curious of where the inspiration came from, this is, I think, from World War II. So y'all kind of have a some kind of guide as to what we're going off of here. Invert corner component. Yeah, I should use corner components. Does anyone else have this problem where you start kind of working on a font and then you forget about all of the features and glyphs? Because I'll be honest, that's exactly what has happened here. Originally, I just quickly drew out the word soap because I thought it looked cool. And then I promptly started drawing more letters. And then, yeah, by the time I get to this point, it's like, should I be doing corner components? Yes. Am I doing corner components? No. And then there's this kind of battle, right? Like, do you go back and do it? Do you just accept that this is what it is? Yeah, that's my challenge. At least I feel validated that I'm not the only one then. So I think that actually resolves the 2 quite a bit better. I don't know how I feel about the 5 though. Because if I think about the 5, I kind of based that off of the S, and really all the 5 is just an S with a tail on it. If we're being kind with how I've done this here, I don't think. Yeah, I don't really have anything else. I was thinking something that might have like a more horizontal band or something like that, but I don't. Because kind of what I was thinking, I guess I'll just pop this to a new layer here. Actually, what I'll do is I'll go to my tab that has everything on it. What I was thinking is something where I take the middle out. And how do I want to do this here? So this, actually, I have this shape here. So let's just borrow that. So we're going to delete that, put that there. And then effectively just kind of find a way to kind of shape this around. And I may just have to adjust this as I go. So this isn't going to be perfect right away, but let's see here. Let's actually get the width over this way. And sometimes this doesn't want to line up the way I want it to, but that's fine. We get there. So connect nodes, get that lined up. And then basically what my thought here, let's see, that's 2, that's 4, that's lined up. Okay. But kind of what I'm after here is maybe just replicating this somehow. Nope, don't want to do that. Get my key bindings correct here. I don't know if it makes sense maybe just to rotate this around. Well, because I kind of want the tail though. But maybe something to that effect. I think this might actually end up working better. And then we connect those nodes. Are they aligned? They don't seem aligned. They are 1 unit off. My eye's getting better at that. Actually, what I should see. Show red arrows. There we go. So now if it messes up, I've got that. All right, beautiful. And then yeah, the plan was to do something like this. So that actually didn't turn out half bad, to be honest. And then we just kind of adjust from there somehow. It looks like a 5. The only other thought I had, yeah, I think that starts to not work. That was 439. What if we do 439 here? And we do 439 there. And I think what else I need to do is just make that like such. And maybe I even kind of grab this. Sophia was very spot on with the corner components, by the way, as I'm doing this all manually. But we'll rotate that around. I'm just going to chop that out for the moment. But then that way we kind of have more of a curvy thing going on there. So it would go straight across here, angle. I suppose I don't need this here. So maybe we do something like that. I think this seems like a 5 now. I like it better than what we had before, that's for sure. One other thing we're just going to try. Oh yeah, I like where that's going. Maybe this isn't quite as open. What's this? 122 units. We're just, helps to select that first, but we're just going to try it and see what happens here. So roughly 100, well, we'll make it exactly 122. But to me, that looks like a 5 now. So I think that's going to be better. And then we'll throw our side bearings on there. I am very happy with that 5 now. I think that looks way better. All right. So with that out of the way, pretty solid 2, pretty solid 5, 6, 7. For the 3, well, 3 and 4. I guess we'll jump over to the 4 because I kind of had an idea for that, which involved copying this over, give myself some space here. And then pretty much what the plan was just kind of letting one side be the thick and chunky side, and one side be the kind of the thin side. So I think what we need to do to make this work, first we're going to reverse the contours of that. Grab this, so we'll push that over, kind of get maybe something like that going on. And then I think I kind of want this triangle shape to maybe roughly mimic a space like what we've got on the 5 here or on the 6. I'm just going to maybe start here for now. This is going to look a little bit atrocious for a moment, but that's okay. But then basically what we want to do from here is get everybody lined up. I think we're going to take a little chamfer out of that spot. And then if we grab this whole top, just very carefully move it down, we get a very weird looking 4. Okay, not what I expected. I guess we could call that option 1. So let's do that. And then I think, what is the width here? 439. What if we did 439 there, and maybe we go the opposite way? Maybe that's the play here. And then just take this and move it. Yeah, this is one of those moments where it's like, why didn't I think of that first? But that looks way better, I think. I don't think that corner looks too dark. It seems kind of funny to even think about calling a corner dark on this when I have so much weight going on and so much contrast, but here we are. That's not too bad. And it seems to kind of line up or pair with the 2 pretty well. So I guess this just kind of leaves the 3 and the 8 then. And so I've got a few different thoughts for these, but which one do I want to start with? That is the question. I tell you what, since I had the B kind of loosely in mind, let's maybe start here. Because kind of what I was thinking for this is to... Actually, you know what we're going to do is we're just going to close the shape here. But what I was thinking was to open that part up and open these 2 parts up. So then we can close, oops, not all of them, just these 2. We will do the same over here as well. Connect those. And then connect these. So we get a really weird looking shape going on. But what I'm thinking is that this then becomes the weight, which was 439. We can even do 440. But maybe it kind of has some sort of vibe like that, was kind of the thought. And I'm actually going to open, whoops, I guess I did do open corner there. That's fine. So that was kind of loosely what I had in mind on that. And then just try and sort out how that goes. think that might be kind of the play for the 3. The 3 and the 4 do get a little bit weird together. If I did a square letter, like, or square number, I should say, like 5, that's not too bad. So maybe the 4. We'll just space that in a little bit more. These are so square that I don't think that's going to be a concern. Now for the 8, I guess I'll talk this out. I had 2 thoughts on this. So we're going to pull the 3 on one side and we'll put the 5 on the other. So one thought I had is to kind of keep all of the work to one side, and that could be kind of cool. Or the other thought I had was to do something like the 5, where I have one counter on one side and then one counter on the other side. And maybe this is just a matter of trying it out and seeing what works. I'm not sure where I want to go with this. Because I think we're going to kind of have this little shape here. It's going to occur kind of in those 2 spots if I go that way. And maybe I just have to try this. If you're in chat and you have any ideas too, by all means shout this out. Shout out what you're thinking. But I think for the sake of just kind of picking something and trying it, maybe we do this and then try and figure out how I incorporate this shape into it. So maybe we do something like such. We will need a shape like this over here. So move that into position. I may just end up working on the outer part of this and then maybe just draw the inner parts separately. So we kind of have that going one way. We're going to leave those inner shapes in here for the time being. And we'll grab this, copy, paste it, flip it. And then this would roughly need to intersect with that. I think what I'm doing right now is just mostly creating a mess, but we'll connect these 2 together. We will cut that corner off. Actually, you know what? What I realized, we need the bigger chamfer. So let's fix this first before I get too far and then have to do this in every corner. So it should be more like that. That already looks better on that side. And then we flip this, copy, paste, flip. And just push this over until everybody lines up. There we go. And then we'll just kind of have the top of the 8 be the narrower part like we always do. So that's kind of that part of it. And then I suppose it would just be a matter of basically making our counter shapes here. So let's maybe ballpark something like that and connect these. And then I think I can just take this same shape. Let's get it 60 units away. This is going to be a very small shape at the top here. That is kind of a goofy looking 8. Maybe I give myself permission to drop that down a little bit more. Maybe that's the better way to go. So that is option 1 for the 8. Definitely has character, that's for sure. But it does kind of have that S S shape, S vibe to it. It kind of reminds me of the OCR typeface a little bit. I'm okay leaving this as an option, so I guess what we'll do is we'll throw that in the layer palette and maybe come back to that. Maybe this is an alternate, I don't know. But that was option 1. Option 2 would basically be taking one side of this, mirroring this, and then it looks something more like this. So it's kind of got more of its weight to one side. Did these not quite snap together yet? There we go. So I'll kind of bump down to there. And then effectively what we would want... Oh, I just realized. Let's actually fix this on the 3 before I get too far. I'm kind of jumping around a little bit, apologies, but just noticed that shape was skewed, so... There we go, that looks better. What we'll do actually is we'll just grab all of that. And then, did it double paste? No, it did not. Copy paste. Flip it around. And then connect. Connect. So that's 1. And then we will do the same down here. Copy paste. Flip. And connect and connect. Get all my path directions the right way. So that's one way the 8, or I guess another way the 8 could go. So effectively we have 2 different versions. And that's kind of where that's at. And actually I'm kind of wondering too, if I do yet another layer, I guess I could have all multiple options here. I'm not sure what's going to work the best. Let's see here. Maybe we'll just kind of keep these 2 separate so it's easier to judge. So I have multiple 8s, all the counters on one side. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that too. Do you have a preference on which side it goes on? Because that I'm torn on right now, to be honest. I feel like if I was going to mimic the 3, I would maybe have it all on the left side. But I think to differentiate it from the 3, like if you had the number 38, is there something to be said to have it with the small counter on top? That is also a decision. I might be inclined to try that, I think. Let's... Yeah, I could flip it. I just need to flip the weight around too. Or I could just maybe even kind of eyeball it. I don't think I had anything special for that anyway. Maybe that's the better way to go. Is it too much to mimic the 6? Maybe it isn't. If you have the number 68, that could be pleasing. So maybe something like that. I wish there was a zoom to fit on screen so I could get the whole string in one spot here. I think I actually kind of like that. And I might be okay with just keeping all the weight on the right, the right side. I guess I could go either way on that, on which side that goes. Because like right now I have the 0, what would be the 8, the 6, where it's on one side, the 9, 4, 3 on the other. For the sake of making it even, maybe I'll just do it that way. And maybe that's my reasoning. So I've got, what, 3 where this is on one side, the lightweight is on the one side, and 3 where the lightweight is on the other side. That's going to be my justification for it, I think. I think that could work either way. So, yeah, honestly, that came together reasonably well, better than I expected. So thank you so much for that. That was an amazing suggestion, by the way. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's see here. The Z needs metrics. Okay, so here's where it's at. I've got, I guess, kind of an upper and lower case, but it's really just all uppercase. We have some numbers and I have a space. So if I zoom this out a little bit, kind of what I'm thinking is you would use this for logos. Oh, thanks so much, Alana. Yes, I'm in love with this. And to be honest too, I this is where my poor planning comes into play for myself. So I'll back up here a little bit. We'll do a little jam session while we plan the next move here. Originally what my plan was with Fontathon was to obviously get this whole thing put together, promote the I guess the event, whatever we want to call this. And I think we've done a great job of that. So it's been great seeing everybody obviously hop on Instagram, follow us, follow all of the creators, participate, what have you. But on top of that, I had planned on doing a bit more for my own brand and my own stuff, which included launching a type foundry and included a workshop that I want to announce as well. And I guess in the spirit of transparency, I never got around to any of that stuff. I ended up getting pretty busy and occupied with promoting Fontathon, so everything else kind of took a back seat or a back burner to that. So unfortunately this weekend, I can't be, hey, here's my new foundry or here's my new workshop quite yet. It is in the preparation mode. Or maybe I just announce it and we go from there. So that was kind of my plan with this was, to put this together and then say at the end of the weekend or whatever, or, in another couple weeks that I end up putting this for sale, which I think I probably will anyway. So full disclosure, that's kind of where things are at right now. And I figured maybe transparency is just the best way to go on this. That was the plan for this weekend and I didn't do it. So we'll hop back to the full screen here. I kind of had my moment of type therapy, if you will. Kyoshi was to differentiate, or was to put the counter on the opposite. Ooh. Thank you for that suggestion, Alana. Opposite side of the 0. Well, I tell you what then, if I do the opposite side of the 0, I'm going to flip the 8 too. Well, wait, do I want to flip the 8? Would I flip the 8? Because if I flip 1... Now we're just going to flip it. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I think that's a fantastic suggestion. So I'm just going to go ahead and steal that. Because I was trying to think about, putting a slashed 0 through, but I don't think that would have worked. So if you don't mind, I'm going to borrow some inspiration from Kyoshi and go and do that. That's a fantastic suggestion. Yeah, the new Foundry and Workshop. It is amazing. So basically what the workshop is, I guess I probably can spill some details. I don't really have a title for it necessarily yet, or maybe I kind of do, but basically it's an introductory to proofing workshop is what I want. I think there's been a lot of great workshops out there that talk about the actual character development, how to draw letters, spacing, kerning, all the foundational stuff that you need to do. And I've kind of been watching everybody throughout the weekend too, if I'm completely honest, on Fontathon. And this has partly been inspired by my friend Chris Pauly, who has also been, doing some work in the proofing space as well. But it's so interesting to me to see how people proof fonts as they design them. If you're proofing a font one way for a display face, or if you're proofing it another way because you want to use it in text. And, if you go through a program, in my own experience, like Type West, you're encouraged to reach out and put together proofs and talk with other type designers and get feedback on your font, which, side note, I am happy to do if you're in a class or a school where they encourage that kind of stuff. Find a way to hit me up, Instagram, my website, etc. I'm always open for that. But kind of what I think is, a lot of people or a lot of designers, we work on our own, or maybe it's a commercial project or something like that, and we're not necessarily, maybe we don't have access to school or type programs or whatever, so we're kind of figuring this out on their own. So kind of the thought or the idea is that we do a proofing workshop. So basically, what the plan is for this is we'll have a weekend where, or probably a day, if anything, where I go through, I kind of teach a little bit of the basics, what we're looking for, what we're aiming for, what makes a good proof. We'll kind of have, maybe like a starting point, like a foundational proof, if you will. And we just kind of go through, what are we looking for? What, maybe strings are beneficial or useful. And then hopefully I get enough people, but I'd like to break into small groups and everybody gets to practice a little bit. And we kind of give feedback on our proofing process is kind of the idea. So if that sounds interesting to people, please let me know. Hit me up on Instagram. Maybe that actually also encourages me to actually put this out on Eventbrite and everything. But I think it would be a lot of fun, and I think it would be helpful for a lot of people too, especially if you're getting started in type, where you're drawing letters and you're just trying to figure out, is it good or not? That's the big question. Does it look right? Does it not look right? So kind of teaching your eye a little bit is kind of where that goes. I wish I was kind of, using Font Proofer a little bit more, or not Font Proofer, but font proofing a little bit more. On this, I would have been using Wordomat, to be honest, but I don't have that installed right now, so, or it's not working, I should say, so I can't really use that. But yeah, I guess one thing I could do, I'll just jump back over to my webcam real quick while I do some digging in the background here. I do have a proofing website that I like. So let's just go ahead and get this set up here. And what I'm going to do is we're going to do a little bit of background stuff. But I guess we'll maybe do a little bit of proofing right now. So we'll pop back over to my screen here. So this is a website I enjoy. Hopefully you can see the link on the screen here. It's, I think, Cyreal, CYREAL.org. And I like this because you can drag and drop your fonts into here, and it starts to kind of automatically create a proof. I think this works maybe a little bit better for maybe text faces. I don't know that I've found much value for display faces, especially like this one. If you can read this, that's just downright impressive. I can't. But I think there are just a few elements of this where maybe it is kind of helpful. You can maybe get a few short words. You can maybe see if there's spacing issues or that kind of thing. So I do find this a little bit helpful. Or you get a little bit of a headline there. Maybe that's okay. There is another one too here for Latin 2. You do have to drag and drop your fonts every time you switch the tabs over, but it is kind of somewhat helpful. But again, I think this is kind of more for maybe more text typefaces than it is for display. Alana says, that sounds great. I feel really siloed when working and feel like I should be getting more feedback from other type designers. Yes. And I've noticed that too, like not just with myself, but with other designers as well. Like it seems to be a common thing. Like, and it's tough too, right? Like if you're a student, I love seeing the support that's out there for, proofing and that kind of thing. But there's also just this challenge too that you stare at your own typeface for so long, and then maybe you're glossing over things or you're not seeing things. And it's just how our eye works as a designer. There's nothing wrong with that. But it gets difficult after a while, right? So just to have that pair of fresh eyes, I think would be beneficial. But it's one thing like if you're a student because, obviously there's like Type Crit Crew, which I highly, highly, highly recommend. Juan Villanova does an amazing job running that and keeping that database up to date. I think there are other designers too that aren't necessarily in it but do offer services. I know there's Type Drawers, the forum that people occasionally use. But if you're a commercial designer, if you're selling your type, and you're trying to make money off of it, I think that's where it gets a little bit more difficult. And I know Troy Leinster has, I think, forgive me if I get this wrong, I think it's called Type Masters. That is a paid for thing, and it's a very wonderful community. I'm a part of that one too, I guess, full disclosure. He's an absolutely amazing person when it comes to proofing type and whatnot. So there's kind of that nice paid service, but yeah, it's sometimes for type designers maybe that's not accessible or what have you. But yeah, I don't know. I think there could be more done in that space, so that's kind of where I'm at. Real quick, see. It doesn't bring up this page. I think you actually have to go to the full link here. So I guess what we'll do. Also, I'm going to switch to my webcam so we don't go full Inception in the chat here with my screen as I'm streaming. But I'll go ahead and pop this link in the chat so everyone can see it real quick. There we go. So hopefully, yeah. So that's the link that I'm at, and I can share this later as well. So there we go. Group calls and feedback. Yeah, I think I just need to. I have about 1 million ideas, by the way, surrounding this topic. So yeah, maybe later on. I won't try and flesh this all out on a live stream in one go, but yeah, I think there's definitely something there for this. So maybe in the coming weeks or whatever, we'll chat a little bit more about that, and maybe we have some sort of solution to this, or we can figure something out. So I think that'd be a lot of fun. Anyway, back to the typeface at hand here. So I kind of forgot where I was. So I guess kind of my thing with, I'm just kind of calling this SOAP right now as a placeholder, and I don't know that that's a super great name for it, but I'm kind of envisioning this is more of a logo font than even a headline. 404. Oh, perfect. Well, yeah. If it, I guess I never even thought of that. If 404. Okay. Well, I mean, you got there, Kelsey. So yeah, awesome. Yeah, I highly recommend bookmarking that one. I use it quite a bit. I probably should use proofs in like InDesign or Affinity Publisher a little bit more. I honestly don't. Yeah. So anyway, logos. I keep getting sidetracked here. So I'm envisioning this primarily being used for logos, and I think where I'm going to go with this, if we have a logo, maybe some common letters or characters that you would use in a logo. So, you'd probably have maybe a period, colon, an ampersand, which scares me, but we're gonna steer into that a little bit, and a dash, maybe a plus. One brain cell working. That's the fun of Fontathon Sophia, right? Like we've been designing type kind of at a level of intensity all weekend. It's like you're trying to get your brain to like get into gear a little bit and be like, okay, I have to design. I'll throw a common as well. I think that would be okay for a logo, right? Not valid. Oh, right. Do I have to type plus? Is that, yeah, that's how it goes. Okay, so now I have to remember everything I did again. I think that was everything else. Dash, colon, ampersand, comma, period. So maybe we just kind of go with those for now. All right. So I think we can kind of tackle the easy one to begin with. So we'll go back to the original word here. And I'm of two, I shouldn't say, I don't know that I'm of two minds on this. Because I feel like if I just do a square shape here, that's kind of boring. But maybe I do something with rounded corners instead. And maybe that's a little bit more fun. Because the other thing that I'm considering here is we have the original container here, so it kind of had that embossed shape. And I know I'm not really like leaning into that with any of my other letter forms, but maybe this is kind of the nod, and that's enough. I don't know. So we'll take this. We'll just kind of see how it goes. It's always easy to put sharp corners back on too. But I think this would just be a little bit more fun and interesting to do it this way. We'll take these out as well. And then we will just connect everybody up. There we go. And maybe I'm just going to kind of space this out separately, actually. I don't think this needs as much side bearings as everything else did. So maybe we do something like that for the period. If we did the colon, we could just go through and add 1 in and add 2 in. And I think because this is all caps, I don't know that we need to, maybe we do something like that. Soap, Return of the Jedi. That is a terrible movie name, by the way. That's probably not as amazing as the original, I'm sure. But maybe something like that. I think it's serviceable enough anyway. So maybe we go with that. And then if we did soap, comma, water, so we do something like this. And kind of what I was maybe thinking for this is we just kind of do one of those commas where maybe it just kind of hooks around somehow. And maybe that's the way to go here. Not a smooth connection. There we go. I think Glyphs might be protesting me a little bit here. That's fine. But we just kind of do something to that effect. And then I think, well, let's try this first. Let's close the shape this way and we'll get everything kind of lined up. I think I might just kind of want to, I might want to bring this down a little bit and actually make that a little bit narrower. It also kind of opens up this negative space too a little bit. But maybe it does something like that. I think that looks like a little bit like too much. And then we'll throw the side bearings on either side. Actually, I just realized too today. I didn't do that here. That's kind of alright. And then, let's see. If it was soap dash water. I think I'd probably want to make that just a... Actually, I'm kind of wondering, do we make this kind of a bit more narrower? So it's almost kind of like a pill-shaped even? Maybe that's the way to go. This could be kind of fun. And then we just bump it down to 60. And just kind of push the corners in a little bit. Maybe something like that. I don't know if that works. But kind of what I'm thinking is I didn't want like chunky, I didn't want chunky shapes all the way through. Does it go down a little bit? Does it go... I don't think we want it up there. What's another dash word? The only one I can think of is my favorite blog. So we'll just give an unprompted promo for Swiss Miss's blog here. I guess we'll roll with that. I'm thinking up close, that's not too bad. If we were to kind of zoom it out, I think it kind of takes up enough space. Maybe I do add just a little bit more though. It does kind of go against the maybe it does kind of work a little bit against the thins in my letters, but I kind of also think it needs a little bit more oomph to it than what the thins were providing. Wow. See, now I'm going back and forth. Maybe I split the difference. That's 65. Maybe that's the play. And I think that's still okay too. How about we go with that? All right. So I was able to kind of make pretty quick work of those. All of those have their side bearings set up. For the plus, let's see here. If I did the hyphen, so we can use that as one element. Do we do the width of the period? Again, I'm kind of trying to sort out kind of something like that. And then we just align everybody. I think this could actually stand to be a good bit thicker. But what I can do is maybe something like that. I'm also just kind of looking at my preview window down here as I'm adjusting this. But maybe it's something like such. It's going to be kind of more stylistic than anything else. Maybe something like that. But I think since I kind of like that there, I might kind of adjust everything else to that as well. Because maybe you would want these a little bit more in line with each other. It makes for kind of a fun plus sign, I think. Almost looks like a little top hat. I don't think that's too bad. All right. Let's see. For the sake of doing a different phrase here rather than going on about my Star Wars nerddom here. So, yeah, the ampersand. So how do I want to deal with this? I feel like this is going to maybe base itself off of the 8 a little bit. And I also feel because it's a bigger letter there that maybe we do something like that. So what I might be inclined to do, because of the shape, it might have to be more like that than the twisty fancy variety. But I think that could be okay. Just trying to think of what to do for an ampersand now. It kind of makes my brain hurt a little bit with so much chunk. Let's see. So we've got 60 units. Because if this kind of curved around and then it curved up and around. I'm also going to just pull some other thoughts here as I'm thinking this out as well. We have the 2, the Z, the S. Oops. Well, I think if I based it off of something like the Z, one thought I have is kind of doing one of those open ampersands. I don't know if people have seen those before or not. You probably have, where it kind of looks like a backwards 3. Oops, not Figma. Oh no. There we go. We'll just kind of pull up what I'm thinking here. Maybe I can find it. So not quite like this one, although that's originally what I was kind of thinking when I was going this route, where it's kind of, I guess, a reverse 3. I don't know that I have enough space to make that work or pull that off. I'd have to do some figuring on that. Let's see if I can find what I'm looking for. On the spot on a live stream, I'm probably not going to find this. And I can't even think of a typeface off the top of my head that would have this. I guess this is kind of what I'm after, so maybe something like this, but usually the kind I'm specifically thinking about, it goes kind of straight across and kind of creates a more of an angled shape, and then this curves up and around. I think for the sake of trying things, we're going to try it. Worst case scenario, it looks terrible. Best case scenario, I pull off something heroic. What's the worst that could happen, right? Let's see. There we go. So that's part 1. Part 2 of this would be probably taking this. Do I want that to curve up? I'm going to take all these pieces, but something like that. Let's see here. So that lines up good. We are going to take this point and just bring it out here because I think these two are just going to connect, which is fine. The space between here and here is 49 units. So I need to go up 11. Yep, that gets me there. Okay. This might actually work. Have some frogs. Oh, I love all the Bezier frogs in the chat right now. That totally made my entire stream. I love that. Oh, this is fantastic. Thank you both, Sophia and Alana, so much. That is fantastic. I was very focused. I needed the emoji spam. Thank you. Oh my gosh. That is a stream highlight. If I know how to make stream highlights, that's what I need to do. Oh, and the dancing emoji too. This is fantastic. This is much needed. This is why Fontathon is so amazing. Because, like, ampersands are stressful, right? Like, I'm not the only one on this. It's, like, the one thing that, like, it's probably the reason why everybody buys fonts, too, right? Like, they just go into the font editor, and it's like, all right, what does the ampersand look like? And then is that a thing? I don't even know. Welcome to Ultra. Why is this popping up? Thank you. I don't need Ultra. I think I already bought it anyway. Unless something happened in the stream and I'm just not aware of it. Let's see. So maybe we do something like that and that, because I think I can kind of close this up a little bit. Or maybe we just kind of angle it off. Maybe that's the route here. Yeah, there we go. You only have this frog for 24 hours, so you need to use as much as possible. You are making good use of it. I love that. All right. So maybe we do something like such. I think I'm onto something with this, actually. This may end up turning out better than I expected. And then we connect these two nodes. We bring that down. Did I get here? Did we? I can't say this was a Bob Ross moment, but I think this might actually work. And then we probably could bring this out a little bit more too. Maybe we bring this all the way up. That could be kind of fun. Oh, I think this might be it. It's kind of a goofy looking ampersand if we're honest, but it's undoubtedly an ampersand. Hey Lions Type, how's it going? Good to see you here. Maybe we bring both these up. That's kind of fun too. And then no, I don't bring that down. Ooh. I'm just having fun with this now. I don't even know that this relates to the rest of the typeface, but I can't stop. I won't stop. I think we found our ampersand though. Ooh, and the Bob Ross. The emojis are going off in the chat right now, and I'm here for it. This is fantastic. All right. So I think the only other thing that I want to adjust down here is this corner just looks a little bit chonky. But I think if I reduce some weight there, that kind of helps that out a little bit. And if I do the same up there, that probably helps out a little bit. That ampersand has some sass into the Fontathon goofs. Yes, thank you. That's the best part. Actually, I did have like one hidden thing I was going to do at the end of Fontathon that nobody's expecting. But I will say that there is a clue. I have dropped it. There will be more emotes, but slow mode is on. Is there a way? I don't even know how to turn slow mode on or off, to be honest. The ampersand is looking awesome. Yes, I think the ampersand is fantastic. I was saving one random thing for the end. I guess depending on how far we make it here, we could really have some fun though. It is something unexpected. It is related to font design, but it is not font design. I could wait for chat to tell me when they're ready for it though, because this would involve stepping away from the font. But if everybody's on board for it, we could probably figure out a way to do this, I think. If I do it. Yeah, I do have a chord here. So I think I'm primarily set up for this. Yeah. So what do we think? Do we want, okay, let's go this route. We'll go back here real quick. So we've got about 10 people in chat right now, and we've got a lot of people that are engaging, which is absolutely amazing. But I'm going to give everybody a choice. The curiosity is killing you. So what can I say? I had a couple different directions the stream could go today, and I could certainly jump back to this too. We could have a little bit of fun. We could have a little bit of a break from fonts, or at least designing fonts, I should say. I tried this out last night. I think and I hope it would work. There's a little bit of a risk, but I tell you what, I need to unplug some things and plug some things back in. So hopefully I do not kill the stream in the process here, or make too loud of a noise. But we'll see how this goes. The curiosity is killing you. Okay. Some people may know, some people may not know. I do enjoy playing video games from time to time, and I found this. I tell you what, we're gonna take a break. I'll just decide this right now, because I think everybody would be on board with this. I do need some time for this to load, and I think, I need to turn something on first, so hold on. Once we get this going, then everyone will enjoy here. So, there we go. Okay, available for streaming. I have to turn off Keycaster. Video games, yes, but you are not expecting this video game. I promise you are not expecting this video game. But like I said, the clue is it's in my stream here. So unfortunately, I don't know how to share the audio for this. I'm gonna have to probably just turn my volume off a little bit. You heard me say video games, yes. So here we go. Let's play a video game. And hopefully, fingers crossed, this works. Oh my God, it's actually working. Oh, this is fantastic. So, I'm not a video gamer. But there is something called Typewriter, a typographic video game. Were any of you expecting this? I don't think any of you were expecting this. And I found this on Steam a while ago, and it's been kind of fun. So I'll be honest, I played through the tutorial of this. So we're already through one chapter or whatever, but I promise you didn't miss anything because it was just me figuring out how to play the game. So the clue is in my my streams for the last month or so. Well, I should say the last few times I've done it. It hasn't been the last month. You'll notice that I don't stream to the Arch channel. I stream to a typewriter video game channel, and that's what this is. And it took a little bit of work because I have to stream this from an older computer. So the graphics are not great. But this is a bona fide type-based video game. And believe it or not, it appears that Monotype actually partnered with whoever did this. And it's pretty fun. It's pretty cool. So basically what you do is you kind of go through here. And I know there's like a way to resume. So it kind of drops you into this place. I I guess we're going to kind of figure this out together. Because I know there's a way. I think I got to go through the Gothics here. I think this brings me into the Gothic level somehow. Maybe I have to click. Maybe that's it. I'll try and keep the mouse out of the way too. Yeah, so here we go. So what's kind of neat is you go through and you collect things. It's kind of like a Mario level. And you're actually like, the level is the letters. And there's like a jump button. There's like little like things you collect. So like this says the monks arrive. I think, well, I know there's a way you can go back and read this stuff too. I also don't want to die because that would probably be embarrassing on a live stream. But as you go, so like there's like, yeah, like little pits or whatever. And we just go through and we collect the characters. There is music that goes along with this. So, okay, so like the Carolingian minuscule. So if you click on one of these, it brings you back to the book. And effectively what we're doing here is we're kind of collecting the storyline, so to speak. So I can go back. I think I can go back. No, I can't go back. Okay. I guess this is just kind of in the moment. I'm still kind of figuring this out as well, to be quite honest with you. But it's kind of fun and it's kind of cool because, like here we've got, under the reign of Charlemagne, the practice of writing resurges in Europe due to the administrative needs of the vast Carolingian Empire. This leads to an increase in the number of scholars and the standardization of handwriting. At the request of the emperor, the masters of the Aachen, I can never pronounce that, but I think it's Aachen Palace, create a new typography, the Caroline minuscule. So more legible. How do I scroll? There we go. More legible than the uncial writing previously employed in the ancient Latin script, the Caroline is characterized by smaller, rounded letters and the insertion of spaces between words. It is adopted throughout the empire and spreads rapidly across the scriptoria of the Christian West in the 9th century, dominating the manuscript writing until the 12th century. I could keep reading, but I don't know if everybody wants to have me keep reading. But it's kind of cool, like, and it's kind of fun just to play. It's pretty chill. It's pretty relaxing. And there are, I think, lives on this. Like, I've definitely, like, I guess kind of died or whatever before. But you can kind of push rocks out of the way here. But whoa, we want to collect that. We want to collect that. Go back. This is a bit more forgiving than like Mario or something. That's for sure. Keep going, keep going. But, oh no, don't. Stay with it, stay with it. There we go. I think I'm actually just collecting all the letters of the alphabet. You've heard the game, you've never played it. I do recommend it. Like, it's, like, I think this is probably, like, if you're a type designer, maybe a graphic designer, you would appreciate it. I don't know that this is like for everybody, to be honest, but I thought it would be kind of fun. It's kind of a surprise, like, who expected that for a Fontathon stream? It's also appropriate too, right? Like, we're on Twitch, we should be playing video games. So, this is kind of fun. I have no idea how long a book lasts, by the way. I presume we're just going to go to the end of the alphabet here. I won't bore everybody with this throughout the entire thing. What else do we got here? Movable type. Let's see what it says about movable type. Yeah, honestly, like, this would probably be good for students for school. I know it doesn't take much of a computer to run it. However, I am on a Mac with the Apple, the M2 whatever chip. It does not work on a Mac, unfortunately. I'm playing this through Steam, but what I'm doing is I'm streaming it from a different computer that's ancient enough to run it, which is kind of funny to say. But I absolutely love this because, I mean, whoever wrote all this stuff, I think they did a pretty decent job of writing it, and it's kind of engaging too because you're collecting the letters and you're collecting parts of the story. So, like movable type here, invented in Gutenberg's workshop in Mainz, letterpress printing with movable type ignites a new era in Western written culture and remains in use until the release of photo typesetting in the 1960s. It's so much fun. And, I think for the most part, like if I'm reading this on stream, this probably gets to be a bit much. But if you're just like sitting there, I think you can even play this with a keyboard too. You don't need like a controller like I have, but, it's engaging. It's fun. And I also just love, like we've got like the matrices or whatever here. Like they used the letters and elements of the story to kind of, create all of this. And like everything is just so well thought out, basically. I don't know that it's got like a crazy difficulty to it. Of course, I say that as I can't jump up to that spot. Maybe I wasn't supposed to. Maybe I was. I know there's like ways to like jump or whatever. Don't tell me I need to like. Maybe I can't. Oh no. Because yeah, you drop off and then you die. But it does let me restart. Okay. I don't know if I've still collected that or not though. And how the heck am I supposed to get up there? It is called typewriter. R-I-D-E-R. Let's see here. Nope, don't go back, don't go back, don't go back. Dang, I got caught in here again. How else can we do this? I know there's like tips and tricks and ways to go about this. Oh, that was the trick. Okay. Oh no. I didn't know, well, I should have seen lava being hot was a thing. There we go. We made it, yay. All right. I think we're almost to the end of this. Let's see, W, X, there we go. I love the little inking pad there. Oh, and it's even sticky too. How often can you get away with saying that on a stream? Oh, and here we go, the letterpress. I think, oh no, don't get crushed. I don't want to do that. I think this is actually like, we'll mute that too. I just noticed that was like very lightly in the background. So I think I have to like sneak out of here. Oops. Is it gonna go? Dang. I think I need to take like a running start somehow. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Da, 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 da. We made it. You can play on the Switch too. Oh, that's good to know. I didn't even know it was on the... I think I may have heard it on the Switch. I didn't know it was on the phone though. That is cool. All right, what do we have here? This part is new to me now, so I don't know. Oh, you have to line up. Okay, that's kind of wild. So we've got the Gutenberg Bible pages. Grab that. Should we see what it says about that? Take a quick detour. The letterpress will crush you. Yeah, this is like frightening. All right. The Gutenberg Bible is considered to be one of the most successful print jobs of Gutenberg's career. The book is comprised of 641 sheets divided into 66 books. Every page modeled on handwritten pages is divided into 2 columns and 42 lines each. It reproduces the Latin script from the Vulgate era of St. Jerome using the Gothic typeface textura. I've actually seen a leaf of this before, which is pretty cool. Yeah. So this is kind of neat, yeah. So I presume at some point here this kind of finishes out the level. There we go. And we can kind of nudge that over. And hooray, we finished the Gothic level. So yeah, this is kind of cool. So that's all of the characters that I collected. Hey, Sophia, thanks for raiding with everybody. We are playing video games. We are not playing. We are not designing type right now. Do we want to do one more or not? I can give choices on this. I'm not even sure what the next level is, to be honest with you. So we've unlocked Gothic. And yeah, we just kind of go through the field here a little bit. And, ooh, Garamond. This is kind of fun. Oh, I guess I just kind of ran over it a little bit. All right. So I guess that's the stage then. Can I go and click back? I can go and click back. Okay. So I think this covers all the different things that we did. We were playing. It's a game called Typewriter. And yeah, we decided to take a break from Glyphs for a little bit. So I didn't even look when this was released. I know this was a while ago. Maybe someone can find it on Steam or Switch. Alana said it was on phone too. I don't know if was this available in like the iOS store or Android store or something like that. I'll let somebody jump in if they know. I don't even know too, like if there's like an official typewriter website maybe where you can look that up. I kind of want to make it a thing though. I guess since Sophia is here and she raided with a few folks, maybe we'll do a little bit more of the Garamond level here. We'll maybe kind of do that. There we go. I'm also kind of figuring this out a little bit as I go still. I did do the tutorial, but I'm also trying to figure this out as we go a little bit. So what's kind of cool is each of these levels here are they use all of the elements of the thing that we're learning about. So who knew that Colin could swim? But there we are. So we get a little bit of Jensen there. I have not done a water level yet, so I don't know. You kind of have to like jump and move that way. I don't know if... I don't think there's like any like run move or anything like that. It's 83% off this week. I promise I did not I did not plan it that way, but that's cool that it's 83% off. I will note, if you were jumping in late, I don't know if you've heard this, Sophia, but I don't really think it runs on Mac. It might work from the App Store if you go that route. I'm actually streaming this from a different computer so that it works for the live stream because I'm on an M2 Mac, which Steam said it does not work on this. It's something about 32-bit games or whatever. If it's on sale this weekend, though, for 83% off, I remember it being like a couple dollars, so maybe I just need to go and buy it on all the platforms and see what works and what doesn't. But yeah, so we've got Nicholas Jensen here with the Renaissance culture and writing progressively moving out of the... I'm not prepared for this word. There's an Apple icon. Yeah, it works for older, I think the Intel Apple computers is what it works on, or 32-bit Apple computers. It's not the M1 though. We're skipping over that word, moving out of the sphere. The humanist movement, which spreads throughout all of Europe from the 16th century onwards, puts man at the center of the world. These humanists promote culture and science and advocate for the popularization of all knowledge. This period also marks an interest in texts from the antiquity, which are translated and broadly commented on. So that's kind of cool. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but that's kind of fun. I guess we'll kind of leave this up while I'm looking through chat. Oh yeah, Catalina and above. That makes sense. I think there was a moment where Mac dropped like 32-bit support for video games, and I know it's like 64-bit games work now. So that's probably a lot to do with it. I don't think there's like any sort of compatibility thing you can run either, as far as I know. Maybe there is. Who knows? So anyway, we'll jump back to this. That was Jensen. So I think I've got to get onto the water wheel somehow. Come on. Oh no, I keep jumping off of it. Ah, hang on, hang on. Nope. So close. Oh, that is going to be tough to get. Let's see here. Do I kind of just have to like hook in somehow? There we go. We got it. Yay. We got the E and the F and then down the waterfall. All right. What? Oh, wait. I'm dying. That's why it's doing that. I thought it was moving on to a different stage. Should pay attention to the game here. Okay. So we've got G. We've got my dog coming to visit. So if she's sneezing or whatever she's doing, now you know. Italics. That's kind of cool we get into italic. So there we go. Italic typefaces in the 1499. And I love too, like the history of type. This is just kind of a general commentary of just like how much stuff was invented because they were like trying to save money or space on a page. So like, his goal to publicize classical text at a lesser cost and to save space, he commissions a smaller typeface in italic, slanted, narrower than Roman characters, and it's a reproduced version of script that is inspired by cursive. So that's kind of fun, yeah. I'm going to kind of move through this just a touch quicker because something tells me we could spend a long time all day on this, which I have no like end necessarily for this stream. I was just going to kind of go until we all get tired or exhausted or whatever, but because I do have one other fun thing that I want to do before the end of Fontathon, perhaps. But we need to get that I. There we go. I find swimming to be a bit difficult in this. I'm also curious too if anybody does get this for like Switch or on your phone or on your computer. I'm curious how else this plays. I don't know if using a controller makes this easier or more difficult. Tough to say. I also feel very grateful in this moment that oops, I'll make a 316 there. Oops. We need to get back to that. And try and get up to that M. Jeez. Okay, how are we going to do that? I keep crashing into something on this, and it's like... Oh, there's a barbed wire down there. That's what I'm crashing into. Nope, can't quite get it. Try one more time here. Ah. Give this one more go. I think I need to... There we go. We got there. We got the and type conference, right? Someone needs to get like TypeCon or A Type I into this. And just like set up a little station, or better yet, find the maybe find out like whoever made this and just like have them like update the game so that it works on like newer computers. Maybe we all get like really cheeky and maybe we just turn it into a Glyphs plugin. Maybe that's the play. Right. Okay. Then you need to go there. Okay, I don't know what that does, but... There we go. We have finished Garamond. Hooray! We did it. Alright. I think... Is this the ending of it? Oh, wait. No, I wasn't quite to the end of it yet. I probably should have been paying attention to where I was in the alphabet. We're going to push this book over and see what happens. So there's P. That's going to try and push us down. Whoops. And then I'm going to fall in the water. I might have to come back up and around to get that one. And do not fall in the spiky bits this time. But how do I get out of this now? I don't think that's the path out of there. I may have trapped myself. Oh no. Oh no. Swim, swim, swim. Oh, do I have to go? Maybe I have to go all the way back under here. Ah, I was in umlaut for a moment. Yeah, it's kind of fun, right? Like, that brief moment we were like, oh my gosh. Huh. Oh wait, is it moving up? No, that's not moving up. Oh no. I may have to sacrifice myself for the greater good here. Yep, there we go. It's unfortunate, but we do what we have to do. Okay. Now we have to very carefully swim past this part. I hope I'm not missing any letters either. It's like a genuine fear at the moment. Okay. Well, that was a good move to go up instead of down there. And then, I went from an umlaut to a period. Yes, Alana, thank you so much for joining. We definitely do have to do this again next year. We definitely probably will do this again next year. To be honest, too, I think the February date worked a little bit better, if I say so myself this year. I know last year we did it kind of like in November. We were trying to get around holidays and whatnot. I think a nice winter activity, turning this into a nice winter activity was the better move. It seems like a lot more people were excited to participate on a cold weekend in February after the holidays. So I'm definitely excited to do this again. It's about character development in more ways than one, Sophia. In more ways than one. How am I going to get that star? Oh boy. Do I have to go up and around maybe? And I will say too, this kind of goes for everybody in chat. We had a lot of great featured content creators this year, and I think next year I would like to bump that number up. So you've got some time if you need to practice a little bit on Twitch or streaming or whatever. But I think it would be fun to see more folks jump in and participate. So maybe we get some more featured streamers next year. Okay, so that kind of does that. That waterfall is kind of pushing down. Oh, that's not the direction we want. Oh no. Did I just... I may have put myself in a conundrum here. Do I just jump? Do I just jump? Ha, I got back. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Oh, this is painfully close. Because I don't think I can get up the side of the G on this. Ah, come on. I don't think I can jump high enough either, can I? I'm like holding the back button so hard right now trying to make this work. Nope. Dang. Yeah, this is... I'm not sure I know how to get up there now. Or do I need to get in the water wheel and come down somehow? I don't feel like that's the move. If I'm not seeing something too, by the way, feel free to shout. Maybe I just need to take a running start? Ah, almost. This might not be the way to go. Can I sink down here? I can. Let's just go explore. Maybe there was something else that I need to do. Or maybe not. Nah, I guess we'll just kind of have to finish it. I guess we're leaving 1 star behind. But there we go. We've mostly finished Garamond. I also wonder too, like as I'm looking at my screen here. Oh, I did miss a few characters. Okay, so that was a little bit gnarly on that one. I do kind of wonder too, though. I must be like the first person to stream this actually on Twitch, perhaps, or one of like 3 people, whoever has. I may have to go look this up later now if there's a way to do that. So there we go. That's typewriter. That's our little bit of fun. I was very excited to bring this up on stream, mostly just because probably nobody was expecting it. Whoops, as I'm dropping things, apologies on the microphone there if that was really loud for people. So we'll put that away. Maybe in a future stream, not necessarily a Fontathon stream, we can bring that back. But there we go. That was typewriter. So we'll go ahead and exit out of my game here. It's being kind and saving my progress. Speaking of progress, we'll just kind of jump back here to Glyphs. And yeah, so pop full screen open here. So this is where the font kind of stands at the moment. And you know, especially kind of because we're kind of winding down with Fontathon for the day. I don't know if I want to keep working on characters, but I do want to do something fun with this a little bit. So I think what I'm going to do for the moment is I just kind of want to work out my space here. So the thing is I'm not really going to kern this. I think my spacing is okay, but for things like the TAT, for example, or I'm sure like, yeah, WAWA or VAVA. Actually, you know what, we're going to pull an audible here. So let's do the V there, and we'll do AV there. Okay. We're going to do a tiny bit of kerning. How's that sound? So the kern group for this was, we're going to make that A and A. And I don't know, negative, it's going to be negative something, that's for sure. Can I? No, I can't do that. That's fine. But what we're going to do, maybe just kind of push that. Wow, 110. Is that the move? That might be the move. Is that a little bit too close, maybe? We'll back it off to like 90. And then we'll do the W as well, but we're going to throw U in that group. So this is where I kind of get confused a little bit with glyphs. Let's see, we'll pop open the kerning window here. Or no, wait, it needs to be A. Sorry, that's the group we want. We'll do the T2. Actually, I think I got my... This is where I get confused a little bit. So that should be... Let's actually start this over again. So we'll delete everybody. I always have to remember... I think it's like the letter I'm working from. Hopefully I'm getting this right. All right, so we know this one's negative 90, and we know we want this one to be negative 90. Oops, if I can type. Negative 90, okay. For this one, I don't think it needed to go as far, so maybe like negative 60 and negative 60. Maybe something like that. Maybe a little bit more. Watch this end up be exactly the same thing. I don't know that it needs to be, though. Okay. And then I'm just kind of picking a couple characters here, so I'm just trying to think of prime offenders, to be honest with you. So basically, if I have a word like water, so that worked that way. Why does that not work this way? No, we don't want that. The WA should definitely, because it was working up there. And that's picking up there. Okay. I don't know why that doesn't wanna. Why doesn't that want to go that way? Oh, because it was lowercase. Right. That's why. Yeah, I forgot I'm gonna have to do that. Shoot. Okay. I think we can figure this out though. Can I duplicate kerning pairs? I cannot. We don't want to delete them. And for this T, I think we want, that was a negative 70. Okay. We've got this sorted out. So WA, oops, this WA, we want a V for that? Yep, okay. I'm sure there's a plugin to like make this work better, but I guess that's a little bit of kerning. I don't know how much I'm actually going to use this for my next step in the process here, but what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we're going to export that. And then I want to jump over and have a little bit of fun. Let's pop over to Photoshop here. So basically what I have set up in Photoshop is we've got some mockups, and I thought it would be kind of fun to just put this thing to the test a little bit. I don't really know what I feel like putting this on. We're going to kind of create a little bit of a mockup here. But we have, and feel free to vote in the comments, by the way. But we have a paper ice cream cup. We have a bottle of wine with its accompanying packaging. We've got the side of an airplane. We've got I think this is just like a glass coffee, like iced coffee mug kind of thing. We've got like a soda can. We've got a pennant. This is a green juice bottle. And I believe the label, you can do a transparent label on this. I think the same goes for anything with a label on this, is how these are set up. We could do a t-shirt. We could do a soccer player. That might take a little bit more work though. I've got a coffee mug. I think this is a glass water bottle. I'll just pop. Yep, so that's a glass water bottle. We've got a milk bottle. And again, it's kind of neat. You can adjust all these different elements here. We've got a regular water bottle. So this one is just like a typical water bottle that you'd see. And then we're back to the beginning. So if anybody has anything in the chat, I can give everybody a moment while we're catching up to my stream here. But I think it would be kind of fun to just create a random brand name and just have a little bit of fun with the label. And we can then wrap this up this way. And actually, while I am waiting, I'm also supposed to be running the Fontathon Instagram as we go too. So if you haven't already, feel free to be sharing your progress as well. I know a lot of people have on Instagram over the weekend, and it's been absolutely amazing seeing what everyone's been sharing. It's been a lot of fun. So yeah, it looks like I finally get a little bit of a break there with keeping up with everybody. I kind of had a moment where I was kind of going crazy, just keeping up, reposting everybody's story and all that kind of thing. So, what do I want to design? The chat has gone a little bit quiet, but that's okay. Let's see, what would be fun? I'm also thinking too, I don't have a ton of elements either, so that's also going to factor into what I'm creating here. And then we'll have to decide. So I think I'm actually just going to rule the soccer player out because that's going to be too much work. Do we maybe just do like a Fontathon pennant? I feel like that could be kind of fun, but maybe it'd be kind of like, I don't know, boring too. Maybe for the sake of ease though, I'll take it easy on my brain a little bit here. Let's do a Fontathon pennant. So a couple things I need. Let's actually jump over to this screen because I think we had this here. Keep all my tabs nice and tidy. So if you were curious about our color palette this whole weekend, it's just a Tailwind CSS color. It's green number 500. And I think what we're going to do, let's see here, I'll move this over to the end here, make this a little bit easier. Or did it move over? Yep, it did move over. Okay, perfect. I'm not always great at moving this stuff around, so apologies if you're getting seasick as I'm trying to navigate where all my stuff is open. Now I lost my pen. There we go. Okay. Let's see. So the design is there. And then there's this one as well. Okay. I'm going to leave this grid on in the background, but I'm going to make a solid color and we'll paste our green in. Can I change? What colors can I change? And this is the tie color. Oh, I can change those. Okay. How about we do green for those? So we got that. Kind of what I was leaning towards. Where's the stitches at? Oh, that's in here. I might keep those white for now. What is the part color? Oh, that's part of the stitches too, I think. Okay. So what we would need to do is this one. And I think for this part of the pennant, we're just going to make it white. I think that would look kind of nice, kind of classy. There we go. And to make this extra fancy, I'm going to go back over and should we just do like a dark green background? A darker green background? Now we'll go with the lighter green. I think that'll be okay. All right, perfect. So I don't need that one anymore, but what we do need is this. Okay. So what I'm going to do for the time being is we're going to kind of put this over the top here. And is there maybe not a multiply, maybe a screen? I think that'll work. Yeah, that kind of works. I never really know. Actually, subtract might be a little better. Yeah. Okay. But what we can do, oh, it even populated it. Look at that. We can do Fontathon. Bring this all the way up. And I'm going to lock the position on that. There we go. We could do Fontathon there. And I think too, in my Is it documents? Nope. Pretty sure I had a logo somewhere here. Don't mind me digging through. Yes, SVG. There we go. Really, I just want the vector. Maybe I need to open it up in Illustrator instead. While we are waiting for Illustrator, we're just going to kind of pump back to that. So I'm going to have to make Fontathon smaller. That's fine. And it looks like that needs to go maybe back to about there. Does that line up a little better? That's a little bit better. We'll see how the icon works its way in on the other side here in a moment. But if we jump over to here, and we will go back all the way through to an SVG file. There we go. We're actually going to be fun and take the letter out of it. But what I want to do is we're going to merge all of these shapes together. All of my settings are gone too, which is kind of lovely, but we'll deal. So we can pop back over, not to this screen, but to here. There we go. And I think we'll make it not a shape layer. Layers? Does that give me... Oh, I don't want to rasterize it. Maybe I have to copy and paste this in separately. So we do that as a shape layer, and we do that as a shape layer. It doesn't exactly line up, but I think for the sake of this here, we can kind of make it work close enough. So those were those elements. Okay. And then as far as the actual color itself goes, I think I did... Was it 900? You know what? We'll roll with 900 for that. And let's do like 200 for this shape. Green 200. No, it has to be green 100. There we go. So we can kind of put this off to one side. Put Fontathon kind of back in there. I'm actually I'm going to group these two things and make this a little bit easier. Actually, I think Fontathon's probably going to get a little bit smaller there. Another thing we're going to do is grab the F, and we'll put that in the center of the clock. And there we go. So that's always kind of a nice touch. We'll add that to the group as well. And then we'll just kind of save it and jump back here. So I think I could make that a little bit larger. Probably quite a bit larger even. Actually, what we'll do is, if I do it this way, does this update in real time? It does. Ooh, that's a life hack. Beautiful. Okay. And then for Fontathon, do we do something like that? I feel like the icon's actually a little bit too... Maybe something more like that. I think that's looking a little bit better. I am kind of curious. So this is on metrics. Optical, it does kind of push everything in a little bit, but I think if I did optical, I'd probably just get rid of the spacing being a little bit more condensed, but maybe we do something like that and kind of get that in a little bit. One other thing I think I'm going to do, whoops, as I hit the wrong key button here. Is it under window? Yes, okay. One other thing I was going to do I think we can get rid of that. But I was just kind of wondering if I could maybe do like a fun little drop shadow of some sort, maybe. Maybe we do it through the effects panel. So we'll do normal. We'll select the color there. I kind of want it to maybe go something like that. We're going to do 100% spread. We'll do the size and then just kind of drop the distance down. This is where I really wish I had the blend option in Photoshop. That's okay though. Maybe we try a different approach on this. Let's see here. What if we did a stroke? We'll do 10 units. Actually, you know what? Let's go this route instead. Since I have Illustrator up, I think this would probably make it easier anyway. So we'll go ahead. We'll start a new letter here, or a new document. We'll do Fontathon. We'll just make this a little bit larger. Let's grab our font here. Grab soap. Also, I'm open to input on the name too. I don't think the name's going to stick when this finally gets released, by the way. Do metrics. That's actually validating if it thinks my metrics are good, by the way. Or sorry, optical. I shouldn't have talked so quickly. There we go. So we'll do something like that. I'm going to go ahead. I'm not going to worry about color for the moment. But maybe we pop this open here. I'm just going to make this like a light gray. Oops. So we'll do the stroke, and I'm going to do it this way because I like the stroke editor in Illustrator a little bit better anyway. So kind of what my thought was to do something like this. I'm also going to turn off smart guides because that was kind of bugging me. Okay. But what we can do is maybe thicken that up just a touch. We are going to expand the appearance. And then, actually, you know what? I'm going to take a step back here real quick. I'm going to make this just a little bit thicker, and then we will expand the appearance. Okay. From here, what I like to do anyway, make sure everybody's ungrouped. And then we're going to select everything that is the gray fill color. Actually, one other thing we're going to do real quick. So that says it's set to an outer stroke. Maybe that's the better way to do it. I don't know why expand appearance and the outline stroke is always so different. But what I want, okay, same fill color. All right, we're going to merge all of those together, and I'm just going to skate that out of the way for the time being. If we take all of these, we're going to Pathfinder that together. And I'm sure there's a better way to go about this, but I've been doing this since, well, probably since Illustrator was like, I don't know, in its early days, let's call it, so I don't feel too bad. Switch to outline mode, I'm going to grab that out of the way as well. So all that's to say, we can grab this, we can move it down. I'm going to go something to there. And then we take the blend tool and go to there. Specified steps. Let's do, I don't know, 100. All that so we can make it look like this. There we go. We did it. All right. So if I jump back here then, I was using white for that, which I'm not opposed to. But I think what I want to do is we're going to grab that color green. Actually, one other thing I'm going to do is we're going to expand this and merge it. I know I could go through... There is a way to clean this up too. I know this. Should we see how much of this I can remember? Let's see here. I remember there's a brush tool for it, but I'm not... It's kind of funny when I'm on the spot. That's like when I'm not remembering anything. Oh, why is the help menu being slow? Maybe it's not going to be of help to me. Maybe we just need to figure this out on our own. So shaper, rotate. Is it under modify? I know it's around here somewhere. Wasn't that? Was it smooth tool? No, not quite that either. I'll tell you what, let's go this. Maybe we just go this route. Can I grab everybody with the lasso tool? The funny part too is I actually just saw a TikTok about this as well. So you think I would have remembered this. And then, let's see. Or actually, maybe I just do it that way. Hold on. Everybody can watch me suffer through all of this a little bit. So we don't want auto smooth. We definitely just want like enough that well, maybe auto smooth isn't the way to go. Let's try something else here. Not remove anchor points. Simplify. So we'll keep that. Yeah, I wish there was a better way to clean that jagged edge up that's going on there. And it's bugging me too because I know there is. Maybe I don't need to mess with that. All right, I'm going to fix some dinner and wind down. Sophia says I'm gonna fix some dinner and wind down for the day. This was so much fun. Yes, thank you so much for jumping in the chat, but even more, thank you so much for being part of Fontathon as well. That was great to have you. And for anyone else in the chat, Sophia is probably one of the best out of all of us about streaming on a regular basis. So make sure that you head over to her Instagram, her Twitch, all do things. Give her a follow. She's absolutely amazing. And also, actually, if you go to fontathon.org too, if this is easier than trying to remember where everybody is, we have everyone's social media handles where you can buy their fonts, all that great stuff. I just encourage you to go check that out. There's a lot of good stuff there, and it's a great way to support everybody who has been streaming this weekend. So thank you. But I think we're getting close to wrapping up. A nice little pennant here. I do kind of like how that turned out. I think too I might... Because my brain kind of thinks if you were to do this, maybe you would have limited colors of some sort. So maybe you would do something like this. So then it becomes like a 2-color pennant, and then you can like print it out somehow. But that's kind of fun. Maybe something like that. I don't know if that's like weird or not, but I don't know. It's a thing. I don't know if something like that looks any better or not. Maybe it doesn't. Who knows? I could maybe do something like this and then just kind of pop Fontathon over the top of it. Does something like that kind of look cool? Sort of. What What else can we do with this? I feel like I could kind of make this fun or make this a little bit unique. This also just makes me want to go and turn this into a pennant. Maybe we just kind of pop it back down there a little bit so it's a little bit easier to read. Yeah, it's kind of fun. 6 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, so what's kind of funny is I realized this actually like late last night. My intention was to have it end like late or maybe like mid-afternoon US time, and I wrote GMT plus 0, which, if we're being completely honest, GMT plus 0 was like 2 hours ago, like at midnight, or not midnight, what did I say, like 4 p.m. or something like that. The intention was that it would end at like 4 p.m. Pacific time, which would be 6 p.m. Eastern time, yes. So I'm just kind of hoping everybody ignores that a little bit. I don't think people mind too much that Fontathon can be rough around the edges at times, where we're just kind of figuring things out on the fly. So yeah, that was kind of the idea, was that's roughly when it ends. Actually gonna go ahead and close that out there. So yeah, I'll probably keep streaming for maybe a little bit longer here. We'll just kind of keep the fun going a little bit. But yeah, I think for the most part, for those of us who are in later time zones, obviously we're not. There's no pressure or worry to stop the party. So, yeah, if you want to keep streaming, by all means, and shout out to Lines Type as well. I know you were kind of a last minute add to the live streamers and whatnot, but I definitely appreciate that you took some time to jump in and stream with us. So thank you so much. Here we go. I also don't know how much something like that works. Maybe it kind of works. Just thought something, a shape like this is kind of fun just to maybe create some more visual interest. I'm not even sure if it totally works. This could just be totally a dumb idea too, for all I know. Oops. There we go. Yeah, awesome. I'd love to see a part 2. It'd be fun to see how your project wraps up, for at least for Fontathon anyway. I'm sure you'll probably continue working on it more. Also, I think, I have auto layer select. That's why this kept being so weird on me. I was trying to hold it together while wondering out why that was being weird, but now we know. Let's see here. Let's make a new shape. Just kind of wanted to add something just a little bit more to wrap this up. Oops. Here we go. Yeah, let us know when you're going on. I think if there's no one else streaming right now, maybe I'll just kind of try and figure out who we might go and push everybody over to next. We were doing raids yesterday, which was kind of fun. We had a little bit of those today too. I think a few folks in today's chat showed up from other streams, so we'll kind of keep that up as well. But yeah, just trying to figure out how I want this to kind of look. Maybe there's kind of some fun angles or patterns or something going on. I also really just kind of don't know. Yeah, the tough part is Fontathon kind of needs to be on a, or the icon needs to kind of be on a green background. Maybe something like that. Maybe. Or maybe something like that. I kind of don't mind that. Or does even that need to exist? Maybe that doesn't even need to. Well, I kind of like the. Maybe it's just a little bit thinner, and maybe it goes that way. Maybe that's what I do instead. It doesn't look too terrible. But I think that kind of creates a fun little effect. So if we go back here, I'm going to move Fontathon up just a touch. I might actually even move. So the F, does it need to line up? Maybe it doesn't even need to line up. But maybe something more like that. We kind of get like a little pennant out of it. I don't think that's too bad. It's kind of fun. I am going to go for the darker background color though, I think. Maybe that looks a little bit cooler, kind of pops off the background a little bit better. So there we go. We have a Fontathon pennant. So we can at least say we got to use this a little bit. So I think that kind of looks, kind of fun. And it's kind of a nice way too to really test out how this is working as well. Like I know I'm just kind of using Fontathon or whatever. But yeah, I mean, if I kind of look here too, I guess I have no real plan beyond that, what I was doing. But I think, yeah, I had, so this here, I know at one point I was mentioning like, signage or like, for a coffee shop or something like that. And let's see, where's my label layer at? Down here. So, I mean, kind of what I was thinking was, like, you do something like this. And again, I can kind of push that off to the side. We already have optical, that's good. If we do, actually I kind of even wonder, kind of push it in a little bit like that. Oops. Kind of wish the command tilde would work a little bit nicer on this, and then I kind of jump back and forth. But basically what the idea was like you could do something like this. You kind of like screen print it on the bottle a little bit. What else would you put on a nice coffee? I suppose you probably have like a flavor of some sort. Say we're doing French vanilla. And what else would you want? 8 fluid ounces. Oops. So something like that. I think 8 fluid ounces would probably be a bit smaller. We're really going to kind of push the envelope with how readable this gets at small sizes, but I think that's okay. Kind of center that a little bit more. What else? We need a coffee shop name. What would be a good coffee shop name? The tough part is I know there's a coffee shop out there that uses a type term. So I don't want to like draw too much inspiration from that. Let's see. What do we want? What would a good coffee shop name be here? I think espresso would be too long of a word to use. I don't know if drip works. I think it'd be kind of fun to use the ampersand after all the effort that we put into making that. I'm drawing a blank on names right now. This is kind of fun. Let's see. Coffee shop name. If anybody in chat has an idea too, feel free to shout out. I don't think we want caffeine. Perky. I want to use an and in there. That's my whole thing. Let's see. I think I could do something maybe with pour. Seraph and pour. Is that a terrible coffee shop name? Probably. But we'll roll with it. Or actually, we could make it font and pour. Again, still probably not the best name, but it's kind of fun to put on a glass here. So then let's create a little bit of hierarchy here. I think French vanilla and this could probably go down a little bit more. And maybe we do something like such. Maybe we kind of bring all that back up a little bit. And then kind of what I'm envisioning for this, I guess we'll just go back here, is if we had like a nice, I don't know, just like a yellow or a light brown color, just to kind of accent a few things. So definitely not green. We don't want that. So we could do, actually what we could do, let me back out of this real quick. Maybe what we do is, so I have this gold kind of overlay thing going on. What I could do is, do we bring that in? Yeah, there we go. So maybe this looks like a high-end kind of coffee thing. And then what I can do, also I realized I don't have Keycaster on. I don't know if anybody really noticed or cared, but apologies, pop that in real quick. But what I was thinking was we can just take the brush then. And let's just make that a good chunk bigger. And then we just kind of go in and detail off a few elements here. So obviously we get that ampersand and maybe French vanilla. One other thing I could do is we could turn this into like a silver. And then I don't know, like if something like that works, but it's kind of like a chrome, if you will. Maybe this is kind of a fun way to do it, and then we'll just kind of bring that up into a shinier color. And the last thing we could do, obviously, would be to make a gold cap so everything matches. So something like that. I think that's kind of fun. I'd probably want to add more decorative elements to this because it would certainly benefit from that, but I think that's okay for the time being. And then if we just did maybe kind of like a rich, I don't know if this has a brown. I know you could do like dark orange or dark amber or something like that. Does something like that kind of fit? Yeah, it's kind of tough because the glow of this actually, it's kind of to the lighter side, so I don't know if that really works. Maybe I do have to keep this on a lighter background. In that case, would I have to do something like this maybe? How far down can I push that? Yeah, not too far. Or what I could do is maybe we just go this way and do some sort of like a vignette effect. Maybe that's the play here. Just kind of have it go that way. That's kind of fun. This is something a little bit different. But more than anything, what I'm kind of after here is just kind of seeing how this is playing. How does it look in context? I'm not necessarily certain that this would ever be an image that I would use for promoting this font. Maybe it is. I don't know. I probably want to put a little bit more time and effort into it. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of fun. You can definitely kind of tell where its strengths and weaknesses are between this and, let's say, the pennant. So we'll kind of maybe put these a little bit side by side there. Is that totally botched that? Let's try this one more time. Glossy thing, bottle front view. Nope. Where did I go? Totally lost what I was working on. There we are. And the pennant. There we are. Actually, will both these work on the? There we go. So try and get these side by side a little bit better so it's easier to see. There we go. Oops, as I go back into there we are. Finally got it. Okay. But anyway, my point is, again, we were talking about proofing a little bit earlier, and I think, something like this, it starts to kind of tell you where the strengths of this is, where it isn't. Probably gives me a better idea of how somebody might use it. If a designer stumbles across this, maybe they're working on something, super art deco, if it's a coffee shop or whatever. But by stepping into the shoes of a brand designer or a graphic designer and seeing how this is used, where's its strengths, where's its weaknesses, I feel like I'm still kind of early enough in the process of this font to really determine, what's going to work, what isn't, and if I need to make changes, I can go through and I can make changes. And for a little bit of extra context too, we'll throw this up on screen here real quick. This little soap tin is where all this started, which is kind of, cool to think about, that it was just 4 letters that I worked off of. And, all of a sudden we've got a full alphabet. We've got a few special characters. So we can really kind of play around with that a little bit. I think where I go from here though, just jumping back over to Glyphs, to probably make this really useful, I think what I want to do next is definitely go through and do some language support. So we'll certainly need some of that. I may go through and consider additional characters. Do I start going and including things like, more punctuation? Do I do any kind of other symbols, marks? do I do things, like arrows, for example? Is it useful to include things like that in here? I'm not exactly sure. Maybe. I don't know if you'd use it so much for wayfinding, but something that I do appreciate that type designers include is elements where you might use it as part of the design, or it might inspire a shape you might draw with this or something like that. It's kind of like a dingbats of sorts, but not entirely either. And I think I might just like do a little bit of research into some Art Deco stuff as well. Maybe there's like things like border elements that I include in this. I think that's part of the fun of a display face is you have a little bit more latitude. You can do a few more things with it that you might not do with a text face. But I'd say overall, I'm fairly happy with this. It was a lot of really good progress through Fontathon this weekend. Yeah, I think that's pretty much, I've checked off almost everything that I had meant to do Fontathon this weekend. I suppose technically we still have about 3.5 hours left. I've been on for 2.5 hours right now, roughly. But yeah, a huge thanks to everybody who's participated this weekend. I know I've been saying that over and over again too, but it's really just been so much fun seeing what everyone's been working on. And I also feel too, the tough part with events like this is there are times where I actually just miss stuff too. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that goes on, even putting on just like a little weekend event like this. But hopefully I have some time to catch up and see what everyone has created. For the people who haven't been streaming, folks on Instagram or Threads sharing their work. I know there's been at least a couple people that were kind of following along, and I'm not exactly sure. I think someone was maybe starting from scratch. I think there was somebody else who was just using this as an excuse to continue on. So it's just been really great to see all these type projects and lettering projects just kicking off and people having fun, and hopefully everyone else has as well. I think the chat's kind of probably gone a little bit quiet right now. Okay. Let's see. As far as streaming the rest of the day, I guess since I'm here, we can kind of take a look and see what's going on. And just give myself a reminder to hydrate a little bit. So I know we have a couple more people coming up, and I know Lions Type mentioned in the chat that he is streaming as well. So it looks like, if I have my time correct, I think Sophia might be coming on a little bit later here. I'm going to do a quick time conversion on the fly. Let's see here. So she was 3 to 6 GMT. Actually, that might have been a little bit earlier today, so maybe she's not. Maybe I was the last one that was officially scheduled for the day. But with all that said, if anybody else does pop back on later today, or even if I pop back on later today, I will make sure to share a note or share a story on our Fontathon Instagram account, so make sure you're keeping tabs on that. I'll just pop back over here. So yeah, it looks like Lions Type is the last one streaming on the day that I can see anyway. So I think what we'll do is we're going to put an end to this stream, but what we're all going to do is we're all going to go give Lions Type a raid, and we can all hang out there for a little bit and go from there. So we are going to put on the end screen, and thanks everyone for tuning in and watching.